People lost everything in 2008. My uncle got wiped out. My parents' retirement was gone. Why would I ever trust the stock market again? I see comments like this every time I talk about investing, and I get it. The fear is real. But what you need to understand is that it wasn't the market that wiped those people out. It was their decisions. And I know this because I devoted my life to studying how money works and how to get rich in the stock market. And that's why my portfolio looks like this today. People that lose all of their money in crashes or corrections are the ones that are chasing hype, the ones that are not diversified, the ones who invested money that they needed in the short term because they didn't have their financial house in order. They didn't have an emergency fund. They didn't have cash reserves if they were early on in their retirement. Because if you had just stayed invested, just left shit alone through that crash with a properly diversified portfolio, your wealth wouldn't have just disappeared. It would have multiplied. The S&P 500 dropped about 50% during the financial crisis. But since then, it's grown more than 300%. Long-term investors with the right strategy didn't get wiped out. They got rewarded. And that's why time in the market always beats trying to time it. Because some of the best days in the market where you make the most money, they happen around some of the worst. The average 12-month returns after a bear market, which is when the market drops by 20% or more, are like 43%. You can make 43% on your money in a single year. And people say, okay, well, I'll just wait until things calm down. But here's the problem with that. The market doesn't wait. If you miss just the 10 best days in the market, your returns would have been cut in half. And those days, the best days, were almost always right after the biggest drops. The very thing that helps you recover and get rich is what you're avoiding. And this doesn't mean that you ignore opportunity, okay? If I see the market correct by 10% or more and I have extra cash, you bet your ass I'm putting it in. But I'm not gambling. I'm sticking to a plan. I'm not making decisions based off emotion. I'm making them off of data. People love to talk about the risk of investing, but the biggest risk is actually doing nothing. Inflation eats your cash. Fear keeps you stuck, and the longer you wait, the smaller your window for growth becomes. Money you invest in your 20s is worth twice as much as your 30s due to the way that compound interest works. The earlier you start, the more free money you can make. The earlier you can stop working. Because retirement isn't an age, it's a number in the bank. I'm financially free in my 30s. If you want to learn how to become confident with your money and how to actually start investing so you make money no matter what the market is doing, go and take my free trainings through my link in bio. I have 5 of them available for you guys.